Thank you, Ronaldo. um, this sucks to see. Um, you know, and first off, congratulations to Spain, right? They played absolutely spectacular. I think they defended much better than Portugal. They attacked much better than Portugal. And for most of the game, I didn't have a doubt that it was going to be Spain coming away with the win. And that's exactly what happened 1-0, with Spain scoring in the first minute of stoppage time. Um, yeah. But I'm not necessarily going to be talking about the game as much in this video. I more so just want to be, I want to talk about one of the greatest players in sports, one of the best players who has been around soccer and dominating soccer longer than I've been alive. Um, it's very weird feeling as though the best player of my lifetime is gone, I guess. That he's not going to be around. That is weird to me. I can't grasp it. And I know a lot of people are struggling with the realization that, oh my goodness, this was the last time that we have seen Ronaldo play for Portugal. This may have been, and for all intents and purposes, was the last time that we have seen Cristiano Ronaldo play in a meaningful game that truly matters to most people that aren't like diehard Ronaldo fans. Because, you know, I don't view, the Saudi Pro League is necessarily the best league in the world. I don't think that winning that holds the same level of, prestige and esteem as making it to the round of 8, like the semifinals or quarterfinals of a World Cup. I mean, I don't view it having that much impact. And, knowing that this is basically the end of Ronaldo's career of playing truly important soccer is weird. Knowing this is the end of Ronaldo's Portugal career is weird. And, I think that the dialogue about Ronaldo this World Cup was very interesting. Where, on the one hand, you have it, oh, you see Messi dominating, so that means by default, Ronaldo sucks. That he's terrible, he's awful, right? And you also see, oh, well, he scored a double, he scored a brace, so Ronaldo's back and all that. And I think this idea stems from the fact that, you know, for all of our lifetimes, and I'm going to say our because, again, Ronaldo and Messi have been fighting with each other in terms of like on the field, on the pitch greatness, again, longer than I've been alive, right? And I think that, you know, when you were a kid, you kind of picked, oh, who do you choose more? Me personally, I'm more of a Messi guy, right? And I also know that, I've stopped necessarily caring about the debate once I turned 12, right? I don't know if it was literally the day I turned 12, but to me, it doesn't matter about that anymore. I don't view these two people as, oh, well, anytime Ronaldo does something, I got to throw in something about Messi. I don't view that. I don't look at Ronaldo's career that way. And so I think that the way that Ronaldo has been talked about in turn is because, number one, Ronaldo fans, they're kind of obnoxious. It's the same thing with Messi fans, right? If you fascinate heavily on one player and you really dedicate the other time when you're not loving your player, you're bashing, someone else who really hasn't had much of an involvement with him in the last half decade or so. I mean, it's very interesting, and that's why the discourse around Ronaldo is just kind of unfair, in my opinion. Where you have the first game against, DR Congo, and I think in this game, Portugal, they didn't play well. Like, it wasn't just if Ronaldo's there, boom, he's the reason they lost. No, that's just simply not true, in my opinion. I think it is ridiculous to assume so because going into this World Cup, I thought they were going to win it, right? I look stupid. I have a little bit of, I have a little bit of pie on my face. I thought Portugal were the best team simply because I viewed them as having the best midfield in the world and the way of them having the best attacking wingback in the world, them having one of the best goalkeepers in the world, them having a deep attacking group. I thought that would be enough. But what I overlooked was Roberto Martinez is a terrible coach. He's awful. He sucks. He squandered those great Belgian teams, and he squandered this great Portugal team, right? But sticking to the first game, right, in this, Portugal, they didn't get any good service into the box. The one time they did, guess what? It resulted in a score for Ruben Neves, right? Great. But other than that, they didn't really do anything of note, right? Nuno Mendes, right? I said, I guess technically I could have been talking about Joao Cancelo, but he's also a phenomenal right back. Like, Nuno Mendes, I thought he is, and I do believe that he still is the best wingback in the world. A 6.6 match rating isn't going to cut it. Vitinha, right? Maybe the best midfielder in the world. 6.8 match rating isn't going to cut it. Bruno Fernandes, a record breaker, right? Statistically, the best passer in the history of the Premier League for a single season, right? Coming off that 7-point match rating. Yeah, obviously your striker is going to struggle if the people who are giving him looks into the box suck. Yeah, obviously that's going to happen if the rest of his team doesn't step up. And you compare that to the way that Messi's team, and I'm kind of doing the thing that I kind of bashed on earlier, where if you look at Portugal aren't playing for Ronaldo, it looks like. They're playing with him out there, right? Argentina, they are playing for Messi, it looks as though, right? Julian Alvarez is taking kind of a back seat. Toro Martinez, same thing, right? All of those guys, yes, they could be dominating, but they are going to make the extra pass and allow Messi to clean it up, right? They're going to press harder so Messi doesn't have to press as much, right? I didn't see that as much with this Portugal team, if at all, really. Like this DR Congo game, right? They're lucky to have drawn, right? And so all of those questions lead into the next game, right? Against Uzbekistan, right? Uzbekistan. And you know what? Credit to Ronaldo. He balled out. And you know what else really led to that? His midfield played better. Right? Nuno Mensch, right? I've been saying Mendes. I'll probably alternate in between accidentally. But Nuno Mensch, right? 8.8 match rating. Vitinha, 7.2. Better. The only player who was like worse was Ruben Neves. That's it. Bruno Fernandes, better. Vitinha, better. Joao Felix was better, right? I mean, they made a change there, right? The entire team was better. And Ronaldo, came in and cleaned stuff up. Like, Ronaldo isn't going to be dribbling from 40 yards out and just launching absolute bombs. Like, that's not his game anymore. Because, again, he's like, 42, 41 now? 41 and a half. I mean, that isn't going to happen anymore. It's just not. And I think that not adjusting expectations is what really hurt. And then, moving on to the round of 32 game, right? In this game, Ronaldo, again, one of the better players, second best player out there, right? If you want to count, okay, third best player out there. And you know why? Rafael Leao was dominating, right? Vitinha and Ruben Neves, they were better, right? Nuno Mensch was better than he was in that DR Congo game. And guess what? He came away with the score. Yeah, it was from a penalty, but the constant pressure and onslaught allowed for them to get that penalty. And yes, it was from a corner. Okay. You had to put in a decent shot or at least a decent cross attempt that got pushed out. Yeah. Obviously, it's not like he alone created the chance, but he capitalized on it and he got his first ever knockout goal. And, when you look at all of this when I'm explaining it, it's no surprise that he struggled against Spain. Vitinha, not good. Nuno Mensch, terrible. And he got hurt in that, right? Rafael Leao didn't come in until very late in the game in the 71st minute, and I think that they looked better in that 71st minute from then on, right? Bruno Fernandes didn't play great. Pedro Neto didn't play great. Joao Felix, I think he played okay, but if you look at, on this, lineup here, both sides, both wings, Portugal is getting beat. What are you supposed to do in that case? Neither one of these, front four attackers played great. It more so just comes down to which midfield was better, and I always thought that Portugal had the best midfield in the world, and they let me down because in how many games now has their midfield really not been great? Right? DR Congo, I don't think their midfield is great. I don't think their midfield was truly great. Uzbekistan, I can't put that much weight into that game. Yes, you took care of business, right? All credit to you. You did what you were supposed to do. But there are three players on this team that really are like key. And against Croatia, I think you played well. You also allowed Croatia to really be in this game when you really had the opportunity to kind of kill it off and just not taking advantage of, big moments. Again, midfield didn't play great. Like, they didn't play truly great against Spain. Again, none of your midfielders lived up to the standard. I mean, I don't think you can blame Ronaldo if his midfield that is giving him service into the box isn't doing their job very well. And yeah, you would have loved to have seen, maybe Ronaldo take a backseat role to Gonzalo Ramos, all that cool. But Ronaldo still has it. It's not like he sucks. Ronaldo isn't terrible. He just doesn't fit in with a team that, quite frankly, underperforms, isn't coached well, and looks disjointed. I mean, when I phrase it that way, duh, no wonder he didn't ball out, and he still led the team in goals. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have to get to a point now where he is gone, and it's crazy to think about that. And I think we're going to see a lot of rewriting of history that, you know what, maybe Ronaldo wasn't the problem. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe the problem was Vitinha having a bad World Cup. Maybe the problem was that consistently, outside of one game, Nuno Mensch didn't really play that great. For someone who was known as the Lamine All-Stopper, you really didn't. If the reasons that I think Portugal could have won this World Cup, they didn't come true, not because I had this grand love of Ronaldo, but rather I thought Bruno Fernandes would play better than he did. I didn't expect a new, attacking combination every game. First game, Neto, Fernandes, Silva, Ronaldo. Second game, Felix, Fernandes, Neto, Ronaldo. A change there. Felix being brought in. Right, next game, Leao. Leao being brought in. Fernandes, Neto. Next game, Felix, Fernandes, Neto, Ronaldo. Consistent change isn't good because inevitably you're going to have a time where they don't know specifically how to play off each other. And I also don't know why you didn't have Leao out there when I think he was the best player in that game for Portugal against Croatia. He was great in that game, right? It's sad. It's sad that Ronaldo is done, and it's sad that he went out this way, and it's sad that, for a lot of people, he kind of looked like a joke. And I think that shame on the rest of Portugal for not stepping up for Ronaldo. Shame on, I forget who it was who had that quote, but shame on him for not defending Ronaldo properly. And shame on Roberto Martinez, who once again lets a golden generation of football die. Gonna miss you, Ronaldo. It's crazy that this... Ronaldo's been playing in the World Cup longer than I've been alive. I mean, I can't... I'm struggling to put it into words, Somebody who is there, right, all my life, dominating, is kind of gone from the world stage. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for the great games. Thank you for the great moments. Thank you for everything, Ronaldo. But we've reached the end of this video. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely crucial to the channel. We're continuing to push out some World Cup content. Make sure to go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But this is The Scoop with Coop, and until next time, so long, everybody.